What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today we're continuing our Venus through House series, and we'll be covering Venus in the second. So, we all know Venus represents love, beauty, relationships, the pursuit of pleasure, and so much more. And the second house is the original house of Taurus, which Venus naturally rules. And that's associated with our ability to generate wealth. The things that we value in life. It also corresponds to our vocal cords and so much more. So, when a person has Venus in the second house, Venus feels very much so at home. So, whereas in the first house, Venus is, I am beauty, look at me. Venus in the second house says, I have beauty all around me. So what it is, the motivation for Venus in this house is to surround oneself with luxury and beauty in order to feel comfortable. And what we'll find here, as with most planets below the horizon, it represents our early life and conditioning. So the person's attitude and spending habits and, how they value, finances and things like that is going to be strongly related to their upbringing, okay? More times than not, every situation will be different, but more times than not, the person will be provided with the things that they need growing up, which in turn kind of, makes them a spender. But at the same time, let's say we have a Venus in Capricorn, okay, or just the depositor of this sign is in harsh aspect or something, you'll have someone who felt very restricted growing up. And as a result, in their later life, really seek to provide themselves with the things that they didn't have growing up. So overall, this position makes one a spender, someone who spends money and really likes to make it, okay? And with finances being such a big part of the person's life, we'll see that their self-esteem is heavily affected in later years by their ability to generate wealth. So if we get Venus in air, okay, like an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius, there's going to be a reliance, somewhat of a reliance on others to feel financially secure. And even if it's not like a heavy reliance, you can also say that there'll be assistance there, okay? So that's what I said, more times than not, it just denotes someone who is financially supported, all right? And remember, the second house is opposite to the eighth of joint assets and things like that. So this becomes even more prevalent if you have planets in the eighth house. And running with the theme of finances, this is a person who isn't afraid to invest, all right? I don't want to just make it seem like this is a free-handed person, but to some extent, if they like something, if it appears, whatever, and the sign is going to show you whatever it is, what they deem valuable, okay? And whatever they deem valuable, they're not afraid to spend on, okay? So the deeper you go into astrology and you start looking at your progressions, you start looking, really following your transits and things like that, these people more than others will, the transits and things can help them really make good investments, okay? So if this is you with Venus in the second, like I said, it costs money to make money. So don't be afraid to venture out into businesses. However, say you have like a 12th house influence. As you know, the 12th house is the house of losses. You definitely want to be a little skeptical or cautious before making an investment. Or if you're undergoing a 12th house transit, that may not be the best time to do that. All right, but like I said, finances is a major part, and it's all about balance. I really feel like it's about balance. You don't want to be overly reliant on someone more, but you definitely want to find your niche on how you can generate wealth. All right. So next thing with this position, like I said, it correlates to the vocal cords, and Venus is a very harmonious energy. So not everyone with Venus in the second is going to be able to sing. Although you're going to, when you're by yourself, you're going to love doing that and things of that nature. But you will have a very distinct voice. And depending on what signs here or other planets involved, this can, lead you into performing arts. This can lead you into even like comedy. Like, say you have a Venus-Mercury conjunction, all right? This can show someone who's really good at impersonations, all right? But you're going to have a distinct voice, and it'll probably be very charming, more than likely. But like, let's say if Venus is in harsh aspect to Mercury and Mars, not so much. But overall, it will be distinct, all right? For guys, this is a really interesting one. So, especially with like today, for a guy, especially in a masculine sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or even Libra for a guy, a guy is going to, his idea of love is that he can buy love. That's just the truth. He's going to be very generous because the position overall is a giving position. They like to receive gifts and they like to give gifts. But what you'll find here with men is that they're going to try to buy love. So for me, this, and along with other things in the chart, this is very much so connected to like prostitution and strip clubs, possibly valuing that. All right, let's say we got Pisces here on the second with some 12th house influence. This can show someone, male or female, who is just into that lifestyle. Okay, and they generate wealth or they spend wealth on those things, okay? But just in the aspect of giving, Venus in the second loves to give. And as a result, they love to receive. And this is a very key wisdom to Venus overall. And what we talk about with Libra, balance, okay? The give and the take. So if you're a guy dating, or if you're dating a female with Venus in the second, definitely get her, gifts, preferably jewelry, all right? But like, if Gemini's here, of course, books will do the job and things of that nature. But like I said, they very much so enjoy luxury. And if you're dating this person, they just like being surrounded by beauty. Okay, and like, let's say this Venus is connected to the 4th house. This will very much so be expressed within their home, or wherever Venus is ruling in the chart. That's where you're going to really see the beauty play out. And so with me doing my readings, I've been privileged to see or come across just a few charts with, maybe their Saturn return occurring in the 2nd house, or making an aspect, Saturn making an aspect to their Venus in the 2nd. Eventually, the need for financial independence and balance does come into play. So this position helps you attract money and wealth in life, but of course, how you spend it, or how your habits will eventually catch up with you. And one of the major lessons is to find balance between, do I actually really need this, or do I just want to get it because it looks pretty? All right, so balance and understanding the correct use of spending, okay, is a major lesson connected to this position. All right. So y'all, this is my interpretation of Venus in the 2nd house. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. If you need a reading, reach out. Until next time, peace.